It's mailbag time here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report, but before we get to your questions, hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for the latest Chiefs news, rumors, updates, injury reports, live watch parties as well, and our brand new Monday live streams, although next Monday it'll be a watch party because it's Monday Night Football against the Giants. Make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. All right, I'm Harrison Graham. Let's answer your questions here. Evan Brown says play Willie Gay Jr. more and bench Ben Niemann. Yes, Ben Niemann sucks. It should be Nick Bolton, Willie Gay Jr., then if Hitchens, when he's healthy, you play Hitchens, but that's it. No more Ben Niemann. I'd rather play Dorian O'Daniel than Ben Niemann. Hughesman08, what happened with Mahomes? They briefly checked him out for a concussion, but he is fine. But if you're asking about his play, I think he's pressing, man. He's way too loose with the football. He's turning the ball over a lot. He's got to clean that up, man. You can't be turning it over at the rate he is. He's still actually putting up huge numbers, and when he's not turning it over, he's playing well. But a lot of the time, quarterbacks are judged by turnovers, and he's tied with the most interceptions in the league right now. Got to change and change quickly. Riley Gamer, is CEH coming back on Monday? So it would have to be after Monday Night Football because he's on IR. He's missed 2 games. You have to miss at least 3. So the earliest he could return is week 9. So that would be the answer to that, Riley. So he cannot play against the Giants, unfortunately. Mike Schlupp, is this defense overpaid? He says yes. I mean, you tell me, right? You've got 2 defensive linemen that make over $20 million per year, and they're playing like bad rotation players. That, of course, being Frank Clark, who I'm out on Clark. He sucks. I think there's something to Chris Jones. This defensive end thing, he may be playing out of position. He's been banged up. I know Clark's been a little banged up too, but Clark hasn't been good since 2019. Jones was still really good last year, but this year, the experiment at defensive end has not worked that well. I would move him back to defensive tackle, but I would say, yes, the defense is overpaid based on how they're producing. Eddie Dean, should the secondary be replaced? The only guys that are surefire starters in the NFL, I think, are Tyreek Hill and L'Jarius Sneed. Sneed struggled a bit this year, but he's still at least number 2 corner worthy, I believe. But safety 2 is a question mark. I still have hope in Juan Thornhill, but there's a reason they played Dan Sorensen as long as they did. They don't believe in Thornhill, at least not completely. Mike Hughes is not a starting corner in the NFL. Charvarius Ward isn't either. Rashad Fenton, I still kind of like him, but he's probably not a full-time starter. He's probably more like a number 3 corner. So, yeah, you got 2 of your 5 members of the secondary are starters. The other guys, not really. KC Fan, 1995, should the Chiefs trade for a pass rusher? Yes. Yes. I wanted Whitney Merciless. I wish they could have signed him. Not that he would have saved everything, but I think he would have been a nice rotation piece on this defensive end. I think the Chiefs need edge rushers bad. Kick Chris Jones back inside. Get another edge rusher or 2. Michael Dana's been okay. He's been a nice little development as a 5th-round pick last year, but he's not a beast or anything like that. He's a good rotation player. You need a legitimate pass rusher that can get off the edge and go get after the quarterback. Chiefs don't have a legitimate edge rusher. Frank Clark's not that. Chris Jones is he's a 3-tech playing edge. You need an edge rusher, and badly. Name a player that you guys think the Chiefs should trade for. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so if you get hit with a YouTube ad break, scroll on down and let me know who you guys believe the Chiefs should trade for before the 2021 NFL trade deadline. Go ahead and answer right there at the pinned comment. Phoenix Rising, should Derrick Gore see the field? I wouldn't mind. I think Darrell Williams is fine. I think Jerick McKinnon with Williams is fine. They're obviously not beasts, but, it's not like Gore's a beast either. He was good in the preseason, but factor in the competition he was going up against. So, yeah, I'd be fine with it, but running back's not really the issue. Let's be honest. You can kind of just plug and play at that position with Kansas City. Adrenaline Central, when will Fortson be back? Not this year. Ruptured his Achilles. You're hoping he's back by training camp next year, but even that might be a stretch. Sometimes it takes up to a year, if not longer. Sometimes it takes dudes 8 or 9 months. It really just depends on how he attacks the rehab and how his body responds to surgery. Hopefully he's ready by camp, because I think he was really starting to turn into a legitimate tight end 2 type behind Travis Kelce. Greg Goodwin, let's see. Who will we legitimately trade, sign for to help now? I mean, free agency is thin pickings. There's not a ton of good options out there. There's some guys on the trade block that you could go potentially try and get. Could you try and, could you get like an Akeem Hicks from Chicago? Would they trade him? That could. Maybe that happens. I doubt they'll move him, though. Cleveland Ferrell's available, but I doubt the Raiders trade him within the division. He hasn't done much anyway. So there's guys out there, but a lot of the teams keep those names close to the chest, so we'll see between now and November 2nd. Daniel Lambert, when are they going to give Gordon more snaps? Hopefully soon, right? I would play Josh Gordon more quickly. The next game, I would give him 35 snaps, see what happens, and give him targets too. Give him opportunities to make plays, and maybe that's on Mahomes, maybe that's on Reed and Bieniemy. But to bring in a guy with baggage and to not use him, that doesn't make sense. I mean, that goes against the whole risk-reward situation. You risked it for what? To not play him? Doesn't make sense. BetUS is the best sportsbook partner in the game right now for a multitude of reasons, but mostly because they give you the best deposit bonus. That way you guys can maximize your money. So here's what you got to do. Go to chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Must use that link to take advantage of our promo code Chiefs125. Put down $100. They'll give you $125 for free with that deposit bonus and that promo code. You do that and you continue to follow the steps. After you do that, here's what you got to do. Place a bet on any game for any amount. I would screenshot this right now on your phone, your laptop. Just screenshot it if you're like, oh, I forgot about BetUS. Catsports.com/ChiefsBet. Promo code Chiefs125. Deposit $100. You get $125 for free. And if you're a new BetUS customer, go bet on any game for any amount, and then email us jersey@chatsports.com. We've got tons of Chiefs jerseys available, Nike authentic ones. We got Patrick Mahomes red jerseys. We got Travis Kelce as well, and a few of the inverted jerseys. I know some of you guys were asking me about this last year. I think it'd be fun if the Chiefs would wear these once a year, but they haven't done so yet. You can get this one. You get the Tyreek Hill one as well. Email us, jersey@chatsports.com, if you're a new BetUS customer. Once you follow those other steps, and we will be able to hook you guys up with a brand new Chiefs jersey. So make it happen. Perfect for the holiday season around the corner if you want to give a gift away, or treat yourself, man. Get yourself a brand new jersey by getting going with BetUS. Okay, this is an interesting one. Is Patrick's family the problem with him? I'm going to say no, because this isn't really new behavior. His fiance Brittany, while she's a bit annoying, she's just a passionate fiance, right? They've been together since high school, so I really don't have too much of a problem with her tweets and stuff. That's her dude, right? She's going to back him no matter what. But I will say, his brother's pretty damn annoying. The whole Sean Taylor thing was not cool, and I'm so sorry. Dude, you should know better. You're an adult. And he's annoying. His mom's very annoying at times on Twitter as well. But I don't think they're the problem, because this isn't really new. They've always been like this. So and by the way, those are his folks. I try not to say too much about it, because if he's fine with it, then we should probably be fine with it at the end of the day. Hughesman08, can the Chiefs sign anyone before the trade deadline? Well, yeah. I mean, you can sign any free agent at any time. Can they trade for anyone? I mean, takes two to tango, right? You gotta come to an agreement with another team. But yeah, I mean, you could. Some movement can happen on this roster between now and November 2nd. Will it? That's to be determined. Greg Goodwin, fire Spags and Eric Bieniemy. Oh, man. We've gone from Eric Bieniemy has gotten screwed out of being a head coach the past 2 years to time to fire him. That feels a bit extreme. I like EB. I think he's done wonders with Mahomes and with this offense. I think he's been a big part of it. Spags, I'm good. I'm good with firing him. He's done good stuff the last 2 years, but this year he's taken a major step back. And yeah, if you told me he was fired, I'd be like, damn, good 2 years, bad third year. But I wouldn't exactly feel bad about it either, because this team needs a wake up call, and maybe you got to fire a coach to make that happen. Verksy, we need to hit Philly up and trade for Darius Slay. It's a no-brainer to get better corners. He cost a shit ton, guys. Chiefs don't have the money. They would have to unload a contract somewhere. I mean, you're going to trade Tyrann Mathieu for him. You're going to trade. I don't think Frank Clark is. I don't think Philly wants him. So, I like Slay as a player, but I don't think it's realistic for Kansas City, unfortunately. Oh, here's an interesting trade question. Chiefs fan 15. Should the Chiefs trade for OBJ? Of course, that's Odell Beckham Jr. Man, Odell Beckham Jr. He's an internet rumors machine, isn't he? The problem is he's not that productive these days. This year, I think he's played in 5 games, 16 catches, 226 yards, no touchdowns, and an average of 14, which that's still pretty good. But it's kind of crazy. Since he's left the Giants, he's been very average overall. I think a lot of it is him and Baker Mayfield don't mesh that well, but I think there's something to some injuries have popped up. He's not as good of a player as he used to be. So I'll ask you guys, should the Chiefs trade for OBJ, type T for trade, type P for pass? Overall, I'd probably pass unless you can get him for cheap. But the problem is, even if you don't have to pay that much to get him in terms of capital, you still have to take on that contract. And he makes $18 million a year. I think it would cost 13 or 14 against the cap to go get him. I don't know if he's worth it at this point, man. So T for trade, P for pass. Let me know what you guys think. RTMG, why aren't they giving Gordon more opportunities? A lot of Josh Gordon questions. And hey, I understand. I don't know. I have no idea why the Chiefs aren't playing Gordon more. Seriously, that's my honest answer. I think he should get more snaps. I think he should get more targets. I think especially in the red zone, he should get some looks. I don't get it. Why do you bring this guy who comes with baggage and then not use him? That makes no sense whatsoever. You got to play this guy.